Thank you very much, Anthony. It's been really great to listen to all these examples that you shared from different parts of the world. To give you a brief context, who we are, the Fundación Bertelsmann is one of two satellites of the Bertelsmann Foundation, which is a large corporate foundation based in Germany. The satellites are in Washington, D.C. and in Barcelona, Spain, which is from where I am talking to you right now. And in Spain, we've been working since 1995, and since 2014, all our activities are directed towards promoting youth employment and bringing more closely together the education system and the world of work. In that context, we pursue two specific projects, one of which is dedicated to introducing and promoting dual vocational training. And the other one, which is the one we will be talking about today, is about improving career opportunities for young people in secondary schools, mainly through improving career guidance systems in schools that effectively engage the world of work. I think we've heard really fancy stuff in the beginning of this session from Finland and now from the UK. So now we move to Spain. I think the situation is slightly different in Spain regarding career guidance, which is why we want to present you one activity that we've been implementing earlier this year in March, but we would like to, so to say, frame this activity within a larger project on career guidance that tries to approach career guidance with a multi-stakeholder approach. The presentation is going to have three parts. I will briefly give you some contextual information of how we see the problem here, and then I will summarize the three major elements of the project Xcelence Inspiring Schools. And then my colleague Juan Jose will zoom into one of these activities that we did with secondary students and professionals from a variety of sectors. Okay, so let's get started. There we are. Well, thanks to this really insightful work that the OECD has been doing with the course of the last years, we know that many students, many young people do not have, or they are lacking information about the world of work, how it is today. 50% of students, for example, surveyed in these 41 countries have very narrow expectations. They narrow down the expectations to only 10 jobs most familiar to them, and oftentimes, rather traditional jobs. So we also know from the OECD that thinking about one's professional future and having realistic ideas about the world of work is connected and does have impact on the professional and therefore personal future of young people. So having this in mind and looking to some figures in Spain, I don't want to go into much detail because this is very basic information, but we have one of the highest youth unemployment rates in Spain. We do have the highest early school dropout rates in Spain, and we have an unmet situation regarding the medium level education attainment. That is, there are missing persons with medium level education. I'm referring to ISCD levels 3 and 4 basically. And also, and importantly, in Spain, we have a lack of employer engagement, of opportunities for students in work-related environments. So when we have these figures in mind and look at the situation, these are the three major problems which we see for our work. First of all, there's no common vision of what good career guidance should look like, which in a way has the consequence that the best case scenario is that every school has its own idea of what good career guidance should look like and what they should be doing. And the best and the worst case scenario is that career guidance does not even play an important role in the schools. And this leads over to the second problem, which is that schools do not give career guidance a strategic position. And consequently, many schools really start to think about career guidance right before an educational transition phase, not instead like an ongoing process that has to start earlier. And lastly, there's, as I mentioned already, there's a very little connection between the schools and the the world of work. So what does that mean? So we try to tackle these challenges, and we want to promote a collaborative approach to career guidance. We've figured out these three major elements that are part of the project Xcelence Inspiring Schools. Before I explain briefly to you what are these three elements, let me just say that in the past school year, we've been working with 45 schools in Madrid and Catalonia. And currently we are escalating this project in the same regions so that we will be working with more than 200 schools by the end of school term 22 and 23. Okay, so first of all, we created the Xcelence framework. The Xcelence framework is a common framework that defines what good career guidance should look like. And this was not entirely our own idea because it is based on international references. It's specifically based on the Gatsby career guidance benchmarks that you might have heard of, a project from England, organized by the Gatsby Foundation in 2014. And these Gatsby benchmarks have been really helpful to transform career guidance in the country and to promote employer engagement in that country. Secondly, we work together with the Spanish branch of Teach for All, an organization that has also played an important role in the English case. And we adapted together with them this new professional role of the careers leader. I will later come back to this role, what is the careers leader. And thirdly, we help schools to implement and create new and more opportunities for students with the world of work. And my colleague Juan is going to dive a little bit into it and present one of the things that we've done last school year. And okay, so now in the next two slides, I'm going to give you a little bit more detail about the first two aspects, the Xcelence framework and the training program. Obviously, as you would agree, career guidance depends on things that happen inside the school, but also, and that's why we are in this session. It depends on things that happen outside in school. Depends on things that come from the outside. So the benchmarks, the benchmarks here, you have them. They include things like personal guidance. They include things like family involvement, addressing the needs of every student. Things that depend on the school. But also they depend largely on things that happen outside, as you can see in the benchmark 7, 8, and 9, for example, experiences in the workplaces, encounters with employers and employees, or number 9, learning from career and labor market information. So the Xcelence benchmarks define 8 areas that are important for career guidance, and they're most importantly, they not only define what is important, but they also make it measurable for the schools, which so that they can know not only what they should do, but also whether they are doing it successfully, right? So apart from that, this online tool, you have the website there, xcelence.es, also offers materials, information that schools can use once they have done the auto-evaluation in order to improve one area or another, right? Okay, so the second aspect of this project is this blended training program. In a way, so once schools know what they are doing, they have their diagnosis, so to say, with the Xcelence tool, and they know where do they want to improve. So they need someone who has the authority and the capacity to initiate these things. And this is the careers leader. The careers leader is the responsible for a more effective management and coordination of these different stakeholders in career guidance. He's the one who works closely with the school staff, but not only with the internal staff of the school, but also with people from outside of the school. In that regard, we cannot go into much detail because of the time, but I give you just two examples. In the last school year, these careers leaders that we've trained, they, for example, participated in networking sessions with professionals, online networking sessions with professionals, obviously, where they talked about things that the school is planning to do, exchanged ideas, and where the professionals and labor market experts from municipalities or other parts that work in labor market related topics exchange also visions of what is the labor market right now, what tendencies are there, what sectors are really becoming interesting, things that the teachers, so to say, do not have so present in their daily life. And another example was that we organized these digital encounters, which Juan is now going to explain to you. And there, the careers leaders also helped to prepare the students and the tutors in the schools to make these digital encounters more lively, so to say, preparing with some pedagogical aspects these aspects. And I think I overstepped 1 minute, but Juan, with that, I pass over to you.
Thank you, Hannes. As you all know, due to the pandemic situations, activities with companies and professionals were cancelled, and all needed to migrate to online activities. So in Spain, most of the students were being present in the classroom, so we decided to create an online version of it for all the schools. And we offer it in a week during the school time before the Easter holiday. This is what you are looking now. We launched the online encounters between secondary students aged 15 to 16 from 85 pilot schools in Madrid and Catalonia, and with engagement of 36 professionals. And it was really an immersive experience. And when we finished, it was like a strong week. After the event, we created an online guidance repository free for use for all the schools and young people, families, and other organizations. You can go next, Hannes. And regarding the selection of professionals, we created a balanced menu of 36 examples from professionals, taking into account the different criteria. The balance between innovative and more traditional professions. They include big and small companies, startup, freelancers, and have a diversity of sectors and professional fields. Also, as a disparity of professional and academic itineraries. The vocational, the vocational education and training professional, and not only the university perspective, and the hybrid professionals field like computational, linguistic, etc. And we also focus on confronting stereotypes. We select 60% of women with technological or industrial or scientific researchers profiles, and 40% of men with artistic profiles, health, science, healthcare, and all these things. Can go next. And we did a previous activity. We have training session with the volunteers in order to incorporate some storytelling concept into the narrative. And this concept was like talking about lifelong learning experiences and reinvention through life, the importance of foreign languages, English plus others, and also the experience abroad or away from the close family context, and the self-knowledge and personal reflections. So they can become really a trusted role models. And the practical training and experience in real world context, and the career as a marathon rather than a sprint, you know. And about the schools, yeah, if you go next, at the end, we managed to engage with 6,000 students from 78 schools, among 85 that were in the pilot. So it was most of them engaged with the activity, and the average, because we do this during the school period. So they were at the class where they have, as you can see in the picture, they was attending the meeting. The average was 20 students per classroom, and there were also a student from home that the average was about 60 students, and during the activity we did a previous didactic activity with 45 schools. So if we go next, because we are a little bit hurry with the time, you can see we did an evaluation of the activity, and the general results were really good. You can see the average is above 8, and we can, if we, for us, something that is linked with what Hannes was mentioned, is that we had the excellent tool, so we can monitor the development of the schools in each area of the benchmark, and this is the result. Like at the end of the year, the schools did they did the research in the tool at the beginning in September, and at the end of the schools, the improvement in one of the specific area, the number 7, there is the link with the encounter with employers and employees. There is a really a gain in 60% that is really impressive for them, just thanks to this kind of approach within the companies and the whole schools. And just for you to know that this was at the beginning was of the lowest result in the tool. So for them, all the read area, the number 7, 8, and 9 of the excellent benchmark is the more difficult for them to develop by themselves. So if we go next, Hannes, just only to have time for you to ask questions. We would like to receive ideas from you, and we have taken into account the experience from Lauri in Finland and from Rachel in UK, because we also want to go ahead and create an online platform, go further, and just to facilitate the company engagement in career guidance activity. We know a bunch of them, like the creation of companies experience and the education, the future, spanning the future from the education and employees also in UK. But we are sure that you know a lot more. Today we have discovered too more. And we also are thinking about how can we create this, also that has been shown during the afternoon, how discover alternative and examples of how to make a visit to a company under a digital format, not necessarily virtual visits. And because this school year, we want to push or expand to a relevant number of companies to offer a learning visit experience, but under a digital format, because for most of them, because of the COVID and the way the labor markets have changed, we cannot go back and do in the same peer-to-peer as always. So more or less, this is our presentation. Anthony, I think that we can question from the audience.